Come and sew with me. Let's get social. You know it ain't that hard to do. Let's get social.
Hello. Happy Friday. I'm excited to be here, and today we are going to be working on McCalls 7892, and we're going to be doing view A. There are actually A, B, C, D. I think there are 5 patterns. A, B, C, D. 3 to 4 or 5. Hey, Nina, welcome. Happy Friday. So we're going to be doing view A, and I am very focused on using every single bit of the scraps that I have. Just one, to make it easier, excuse me, to make it easier to get more when it's time to get more. It's not that time, but when it is. So I am making this out of some leftover denim that I have, and I didn't have enough denim, so I'm doing one sleeve in denim and one sleeve in an Ankara fabric. For this pattern, it says that you can use it's the suggested fabrics, which I'm not using any of. Well, the cotton blend and then crepe and georgette are the fabrics. And I looked at my fabrics and I thought I want to use them for other things. So I said, since I have some of this left, I'm going to use that. So this pattern is also classified as easy. So we will see how long it actually takes us to get through it. I have not cut out any of the interfacing, so I'll be doing that along the way. But let me know, as we go through it, whether you agree. Is it easy? Is it not easy? And whether or not you would end up sewing it. When you see how I do. So again, I will tell you, for those that are joining me for the first time, I am a semi-slow sewist. I'm getting a little bit faster as we go. Hey, Sebs, how are you? Welcome. Happy Friday. We're gonna dive into it and get started. I'm gonna tell you right now. This denim that I'm using for this top, I'm sad that I used it all. I'm rethinking every time I use this denim. Did I really want to use it on what I used it on? Because I don't have any more, and I got it from Chicago. It is a stretch denim, and I'm sad that I don't have it anymore. I am very sad but I'm trying to order some more now. I'm hoping that they still have it because I got it a couple of years ago. I've had it for a couple of years. And what it made me realize is how much I actually do like denim. I think I could make and wear everything in denim because I do like it literally that much. I realized that through this process. As you can see behind me, I just made my 3rd Lovely LaShawn dress. I still have to hem the sleeves and do the stitch on the outside of here, but it's done. I love it. And this is a different denim. It's stretchy, but it's not as stretchy, and it's so much thicker than the denim that we're about to use for this shirt. I need to learn denim weights. I don't know anything about denim weights, and so I got something what I thought, and it's way thicker than I thought it was. But it's all good. It's all good because it worked, and that's all that matters. I'm good. Thanks. How are you? I'm doing wonderful. I can't complain. I've been sewing a lot more than usual, so there's that, which is good. I mean, I usually just for months, I have primarily been sewing just on Fridays on our live sew alongs, and then I'll do a little bit of cleanup, like whatever I don't finish, or if I need to do like the hemming and stuff, I will do that on Saturday. But I've been sewing a little bit more than that, so that's been new and different and fun. Especially as we get into warmer weather. So a lot of the stuff that I'm making now, I'm literally, like, I'm wearing this dress next week. I'm wearing this top next week. That's like my major motivation for sewing. I pick stuff that I'm going to wear unless it just absolutely doesn't turn out right. And I need to like really do some adjusting on it. But I've been doing good. That's really pretty much what been going on with me. Traveling for work, and then when I get back, like really diving into the sewing. So, what's the last thing you made, Sabs? What have you made lately, Miss Sabs? Okay. So step one is that we are going to be putting in some gathering stitches into our bodice. So the way this is like a cross or a wrap top. So we're going to be putting some gathering stitches in this bottom part portion, and in the top portion as well. So we're going to do that. I normally will pull out my gathering foot, but today I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just making a little marking on here where we are starting and ending our gathers, so I know. All right, and then at the top we are doing it, and is it between the dots? Yes. Okay, here we go. Dot number 1, dot number 2. So I'm just going to do they have us doing 2 rows of stitches at the top. So that is what I'll be doing. Currently sewing Dee's fancy flare dress, but it's on pause as I'm at my boyfriend's house. Okay, got you. Okay, I have to go and look at that. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one. So when I do a gather, I put mine on my length on 5.0. But I feel you on that. I don't have any sewing stuff at my boyfriend's house either. So when I go there, sewing goes on pause. So I totally understand that. Yeah, I have completely fallen in love with the lovely LaShawn dress. Like I said, this is my 3rd one that I made. And I think I'm going to make one more in I'm going to make it in a fatigue kind of material. I think. I'm debating. Oops. I really do want to do that, but we will see. We will see. So, but if I think I might just, if I don't make it in that fatigue material, then I got to see if I have enough of it, because I also want to make something else with that material. So I got to see if I have enough. If I have enough, I am going to make another dress in that, and that will be my 4th and final dress in that material. So we will see. We'll see. But I've just fallen in love with it so much that I'm like, and now I can make it so quick. It takes me no time to make it because I've made it so many times. I know, right? I'm just like, after the first time I made it, and like I had to make a couple of adjustments just to get the fit right. But once I did that, it was a wrap. I know my boyfriend was like this morning. He said, I thought, because I told him, I said, I have to prep for my sewing on. He was like, I thought you did that. I said, no, I made a dress. I said, I made a dress. He was like, another one? I said, yes, another one. I made another one. So my first 2 look very similar. I use the combination of denim and Ankara, but the Ankara that I use on both of the dress are basically the same. They're different pattern, but they're the same color scheme. So if you, well, no, actually they're not. I'm sorry, let me not. They are similar, but they're not the same color scheme. I had to think about what did I actually use. So, but they look almost the same. If you've never seen them together, you might think, oh, that's the same dress. No, it's not. It's not the same dress. Sorry, I'm threading my needle. Come on, why are you giving me a hard time? That's why I gotta put my sewing machine in the shop, because I think try to shut my finger in there. I think it's just got a lot of lint buildup in it, and I haven't put it in the shop in the 3 or 4 years I've had it, and I think it's just got a lot of lint buildup. And on top of that, my needle threader is not working as good as it was before. It used to just work so well. And now it's like, oh, I think one of the little springs or something came out of it. So I need to get that fixed too. Okay, here we go. I need to post some pictures. I'm terrible at posting. I am just terrible at it. All right, there we go. Hey, Lynette. You said I made a few of Julian Serger shirts, Grace in her new pants, and Renee's Gemini bag. Okay, you was busy. You were busy. Definitely. And we all love a good shirt you can make on a serger, right? Like, it doesn't get much better than that. Yes, happy spring. Is today? Oh, yeah, it's the 20th. Today is the day. And it was nice to, well, it's raining now, but it was like 70 degrees outside earlier today. The sun was bright and shining. It was beautiful. It was a great first day of spring. Well, let me tell you, everything I have on the schedule is spring appropriate. So we are definitely going to be getting all the way into spring. Look, and I'm in Arizona this week, right? So I am so looking forward to it. Y'all have no idea. And it's, they're having record-breaking, I mean, it's always hot there anyway, but they are having record-breaking weather right now. And I'm telling you, I ain't never wanted to see 105 degrees like I want to see it. I cannot wait to get there and experience this heat. In fact, I'm trying to figure out, what am I wearing that is professional but can allow me to be outside in 105 degrees? I don't know if I have it. I need to go look up, what do people in Arizona wear? What is their business casual? Because I definitely don't know. But what in the world is going on? I will tell you, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Yes, right? We can definitely do with the heat. Okay. I'm going through all my my bobbins too. Like, Oh, that's why I changed it. I was like thinking I can't run out of that thread. I'm using like a contrasting thread on my dress. Says this dress, I put like the yellow, tan, whatever, brown, whatever it is that you see on blue denim. And I was thinking, oh, did I use all that? But I didn't. I took it out. Hey, gay now, welcome. Yes, it is hot, but that's my kind of weather. Let me tell you, it is my kind of weather. I love it. I love it. Like I'm never gonna be complaining because I absolutely love it. So, Lynette, what have you been working on? Have you been sewing anything? So, for those that are just joining, we're doing McCall 7892, which is a wrap top. And I'm currently putting in the gathering stitches. So, on the two front pieces and the back piece. So it has a couple of locations where you have to put gathering stitches in. And so I'm working on that right now. Hey, Dorothy, welcome. Okay, the rain is coming. I love it. It's nothing like being home in the rain when you don't got to go out in it, okay? We love that. We love that. We love that. I did it again. Pulled out my. There we go. So I have done something that y'all be so proud of me that I haven't done in months, which is I put all of my sew alongs up through April. Hey, Keisha, how are you? I'm so glad you got on. So I put all of my sew alongs up through April. And I'm so excited because at the end of the month, end of April, we're doing two patterns where there's no, I mean, two, I'm calling it patterns for lack of whatever to describe it, but there's no pattern. It's literally measurements, cutting rectangles. So we're doing a dress and we're doing a top. And I'm like really excited about it. I already made the top once. I made it already. So I was like, oh, this was so easy. We are definitely doing this. What is happening? My sewing machine is not liking me right now. And I don't know why. It's giving me started and it's giving me a hard time. All right, let's try to rethread this thing and see if that'll make it happy. All right, there we go. All right, let's see. I'm like, you're not letting us be great. Sewing machine. let's try this again. I don't know what's happening. I think I've been sewing on my sewing machine too much because it's acting a fool right now. All right, let's try one more time. The good news is that we're almost done. I don't know what's happening. Let me just try to figure this out. All right, I got this through here. And got it through there. All right, let me just try to rethread this too. I'm gonna start all the way because I don't know what else it could be. All right, fingers crossed. Whatever I did this time, different from the other times, it works. Let's hope. All right, we off to a good start. It's working. All right, so, okay, there you go. That's what it's supposed to do. So we've put both of the gathering threads there, and now we're going to just do, there are gathering stitches in the back piece as well. So we're going to do that. It's just in the back center. So we're going to do that. And then we will be done, I think. Let me just look at that with the gathering stitches. Yes, okay. We will be done with those. 3. Oh my goodness gracious. What in the world is going on? All right, there we go. I'm like, what is happening? All right, so I am very excited about doing these no pattern. I have 2 of them in April. No pattern to cut out, and no, all you have to do is cut the fabric. So by your measurements, it tells you how, what size fabric you need to cut, squares, rectangles, whatever. And I'll show y'all the shirt. I already made one. Y'all probably saw it. It was something I saw on Instagram. One of them I saw on Instagram. The other one I found on YouTube. And both are super cute. Both are summer, spring appropriate. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Definitely go check it out. All right, we got our gathering stitches in finally. That was a whole thing. Hey, Aisha. Welcome. You finished moving? All right. So we've done that. Let's see, top, A, gather. Okay, so we are not, so we're doing A, so we're not doing the bottom. So we don't need to do we need to do these pieces? Oh, we do. Okay, so now we are going to be pinning the bodice back and the bodice front sections together at the shoulders. Did it tell us? No, and we are not doing the gathering yet. So that's good to know. So these are the bodice front pieces. Yeah, these are the bodice front pieces right here. And then we have the bodice back piece right here. So right sides together, we are attaching them at the shoulders. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, so you do have to gather it first because this thing is way too big. So I'm going to work on gathering so that it fits. Okay, maybe it's this one. Nope. All right. And so the crazy thing about this is denim. So even though it's thin, it's still have to be careful that you don't break the thread while you're trying to gather it. So I'm trying to gather it and then spread it out. This is why I like to use my gathering foot for this very reason. Because just in my opinion, the time it takes you to do all this, you've been to put it all, you might as well just went on ahead and gathered it with your gathering foot, switched feet and all of that. All right. So we got the gathering done. So you're basically gathering just enough so that it fits at the shoulder seam. And I'm going to cut this piece off because I don't want that on there. So we're going to gather just a little bit less. And I'm just going to spread this gathering out. All right, one shoulder, one part done. With the gathering foot, how do you know how much to gather? So you know what I do? So they have, and that's all, I need to research it a little bit more because I do play a little bit of a guessing game when it comes to the gathering foot. But this is what I typically will do. If I need a tight gather, like I have a small space to gather or I want it to be really tight, I'll use a gather every one stitch. If I have a lot to gather, and then I kind of watch it to see like how big do I need this to be? Because if you do a gather every one stitch, it's literally going to shrink it down to like nothing. Or if I need, if I have a lot of fabric that I'm trying to shrink down to a little bit, I'll do a gather every 6 stitches because it'll be a little bit more spaced out. And then of course one every 12 is, you know, it's just going to give you like a wave, a little bit of like a wave, or maybe not even a gather. I would say like a more like a pleat. But there is probably some math to it. I just don't know it. For like, okay, this is how you know when to use the 1 stitch or the 5. You know, I haven't figured that part out. So I kind of just play around. It's not hard because what I have typically done is if I've gathered too much and I can't, like, it's too small, I'll just snip a little gather every now and then and space it to where I need it. Because at the end of the day, it's like you have enough of the gather. So like, let's just say I got it down to this big and I need it to be this big. I'll just go in like every so often and just snip, and then I'll just kind of spread it out a little bit. But the reason, and this, I'm so glad I did it this way because this reminds me of why I used the gathering foot, because I would have been done by now. I hate doing it because I don't like switching my feet out. Oh, has it been 3 weeks? Wow, Aisha, I'm late. But I don't like switching my feet out. I feel like it takes too much time. But I feel like I'm spending a lot of time doing this right here, what we're doing right now. And with the gathering foot, plus I also feel like the gathering foot gives you more equal, uniform gathers. I feel like it looks more professional. But you are 100% correct, at least for me, because I haven't figured that piece out yet, which the piece is, how do I know how much to do? I don't. I just kind of play it by ear, and then I make adjustments to it. But it's quicker. It's so much quicker for me to just cut a piece of gathering, and because it's so much, you know, even if you cut a little bit, it'll just loosen it at that one little point, and you can move it around a little bit, and then just sew it, you know, do the normal sewing it to get it to where you want it to be. But yeah, that's what I have done. I keep saying I'm going to research it, but I never do. Because I'm sure it's a method. It's otherwise they wouldn't just tell you sick. They wouldn't, you know, they would just have one gathering measurement, and they don't. They have a one a gather every 1 stitch, a gather every 6. At least this is what mine has: a gather every 1, a gather every 6, and a gather every 12. And then of course you could turn it off altogether and it'll just sew straight. So yeah, but I do like it, and I regret not doing it because we just did this for the show. See, that's what I'm talking about. And then the string I just pulled the string out. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I just pulled the string out, trying to gather. So now I'm manually doing it. Because guess what we're not going to do? I'm manually just making some gathers. And just going to pin it. Which is probably what I should have did anyway. Should have just manually did it. So I just, oh, you can't see, but I pulled the string out because it's loose anyway. And I just manually pleated it so it can fit like that. And then this one, I was able to use the string and just pull it so it fits. I did make it a little bit longer because I had to use, in order to get this fabric right, I needed to use the edge, but I'm gonna cut it off because just have it have a little bit less gathering because I don't want that piece. So I'm cutting it off. And there's that. Okay, so we have basically attached the back and the front at the shoulder seams. We put our gathers in place, And it is telling us to basically adjust the gathers, base stitch, and then stitch it. We're going to just straight stitch it. Why? Because we've already gotten what we need. So we're going to stitch right across those gathers to basically make them permanent. And we're using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, by the way. So we're going to make these gathers permanent. Oops. But we need to put it on 2.5 to be able to do that, because the stitching will just fall out. If we don't. So I'm going to back it up. So this is the side that I had to manually, so I just have to hold it while I'm stitching across. I'm gonna do a little back stitch, and that is done. Hey, Diane. You can never gauge it correctly. Yeah, I mean, I totally get that. I'm gonna look. I keep saying I'm gonna really look it up because I need it, and a lot of people. I get asked that question every time I use the foot. I need to look it up. I have no excuse. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT because ChatGPT knows. Because I'm sure some sewists them put it out there in the universe. So I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT while we're on this. While we are on here. Let's see. I'm gonna talk to my girl. Let me see. Hello. When using the Bernina gathering foot or any gathering foot that has a measurement of a gather every 1 foot, a gather every 6 foot, a gather every 12 foot, how do you know which gather to use in order to get the exact right amount of gathering that you need? I forgot I had a headpiece on, so I'm going to play it out loud so you can hear it. Oh, is it not going to play it? All right, let me do it again. I had my headset in, so it played it in my headset. You couldn't hear it. So I just turned it off. So let's try again. All right. Let's try one more time. When using the Bernina gathering foot or any gathering foot that has a measurement of a gather every 1 stitch, a gather every 6 stitches, a gather every 12 stitches. How do you know which gathering interval to use in order to get the exact right amount of gathering that you need?
March 20, 2026. Use the interval that will give you the closest ratio between the gathered fabric length and the final desired length. If you need a lot of gathering, use a shorter interval like every stitch. For mild gathering, use every 12 stitches. If the calculation isn't exact, test on a scrap and adjust manually.
Is there a more precise way to measure?
March 20, 2026. Yes, measure the length of fabric you have and divide it by the length you want after gathering. That gives you a ratio. Choose the interval closest to that ratio or adjust tension. If none match exactly, do a test strip and fine-tune manually.
Thank you.
Hang up.
So basically what it's telling us is to do a measurement and then divide it by the number of stitches so that you get that, you know what stitch ratio to use. So like, for example, if you have a 1 foot, piece of fabric or 12 inches and you need to go to 6 inches, that's not a good one. Let me do another one. If you have a 30-inch piece of fabric and you needed to go to 5 inches, I'm just using that because that's an easy, then maybe it would be like a gather every 6, and then you would get that 30 inches down to 6 inches. I'm assuming that's what it means. I like my way, which is the guesstimate way, but there is a precise way, and now we know. Somebody try it. Try it and see if we can get there. Okay, I have attached the shoulder seams. As you can see, they are exactly, well, not this one. I'm gonna cut this extra off now that I've figured out I don't need it. Let's use this one. They are exactly where they need to be. We put the little gathering in, and this is what it looks like on the other side before I cut the little gathering strings off, but you get it. And this is what it looks like on the other side. So it's pretty close in terms of how it looks. It's just enough to kind of create that little gathered look at the top. Hey, Carmen. Look, you said, hey, chat. Look, I'm telling you, I don't waste no time now because Google, everything else is inferior. I ask Google a question and it just gives me some, what is a gathering stitch? No, that's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you, Google. Even Siri is slacking. Okay. So now that we've done that, it is telling us to stitch the back bodice and the front together at the side. So we are going to basically flip it back, right sides together. And we're going to stitch these sides together here and on the other side. And again, we're doing 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm lining up these. Okay, there we go. All right, one down, one down, one to go. Well, let me do this. Oh, for some reason, I didn't go all the way to the end. And now we're going to do the side, same thing. I started to do the top with the little bottom part underneath, but I was like, nah, I actually have some tops like that already. I don't need any more. So we are doing this one. All right, so we have completed the sides, and boom, 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 boom. Okay, stitch the front facing sections back and front together. Okay, so let's see. what is this? This is how I know I need to put my glasses on, because this, you can't see it, but look how light that is. I struggled to read that. It's like, what is this? Okay, so this is the front facing. 2 pieces. And it is telling us, so we need to interface these 2 pieces. So this is the front facing, and then piece number 4 is, where's my piece number 4? Here it is. Piece number 4 is a piece that you cut on the fold. Now, I'll be lying to you if I told you I know where this piece is going, because I really don't. And part of me feels like this is not for this shirt. But it says, sewing, the first view mentioned will be illustrated unless otherwise. It says, him facing to neck edge. Okay, it is for this, I guess. I guess we're going to trust the process. So what I am going to do really quickly is we're going to put some facing. Well, actually, we're going to put some facing on. We're going to put some interfacing on these, and then we're going to stitch them together. So it makes basically like a U. It's what you see on my screen right now. Let me see if you can see that right. It looks like a U. See that? That's what it looks like. I know she said hang up, right? So let me tell y'all what I did to my, I might have told some of y'all this, but I'm just going to repeat it. So I use ChatGPT a lot, mostly for like analytical stuff or to help me like pinpoint stuff I want to research. Like, give me these resources so I can like read through it, or whatever. So, or I will say, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Or is my conclusion accurate? Blah, blah. And so what I found is that I kind of was testing ChatGPT at one point. I found like it was not being as accurate as I would like, because I felt like it was just telling me what I wanted to hear, as opposed to like, no, I don't want to know what I want to hear. I want to know what is the real information. What is the truth? And it would just kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't giving me what I wanted. So I Googled it, and I went on Reddit and other places, and I found like, oh yeah, other people have experienced this. Some like computer technology people, research people have basically said, yeah, it'll fill in the gaps. It will like fantasize. It'll do stuff to give you information. Like, or it will, like, if you ask it a question, you don't give it all the information. In order for it to give you a response, it will like fill in the gaps, but it may not necessarily tell you the gaps and stuff that it's filling it in. And on top of that is like, will be nice to you. I guess that's the easiest way for me to describe it. And so I was like, well, that's not what I want. I want the real deal. So hold on one second. So I basically, after, reading all these different things, I put in my ChatGPT a personalization script. And basically that personalization script was like, be direct, don't fantasize, basically be accurate. When you don't have all the information, let me know. It was basically just like, don't sugarcoat anything, is pretty much in the short way of what I told it. When I tell you that this thing did a whole 360, it did a whole 360. I'm telling you, it was like a huge difference. It actually took me a while to kind of get used to it, because I had been so used to it kind of being nice to me or whatever. Like it'll say, oh, you did a great job, but then it will tell me something that indicates I didn't do a great job, right? And so I'm like, well, why would you say I did a great job? And then you basically told me my answer is wrong, you know? So anyway, it would be, I remember one time I asked it something after I changed the setting, and I knew the information that it gave me, it was a wrong answer. Like I had been researching this for a while and I knew what it had told me was wrong. You know what it said to me? It said, well, if you keep putting in wrong information, you're going to get wrong results. I was like, oh, snap. Like, okay, maybe I need to change this setting back because I didn't put in wrong information. Like, we misunderstood each other. But I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what I asked for. I'm getting what I asked for. So, anyway, I'm not surprised that it said hang up because that's my lady. She gonna give it to you like the way it is. You done? Okay. Not goodbye. Not have a great day, which is what she used to say. Now she like, deuces. Talk to you later. I'm glad you got what you needed. Let me know if you need me again. Like she just does not mince the words. Okay. You can tell it not to do that and it will change. Yes, I know it would change, but I'm just so used to it now. I use it for my doctor appointment today and it worked wonders for me. I love it, but I was like, I use it way too much and I'm like, I need you to be like, don't be just telling me stuff. Like, give me the real information. Don't be just fantasizing and making up stuff. I need to know what exactly it is. But yeah, ever since I put that setting in there, but it's good, like, because if you don't hang up, it's going to keep listening to your conversation and responding to it. So, I mean, I know that now, so I was going to hang up anyway, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I've gotten used to this more abrupt, straightforward, direct person that I have, my lady, but it definitely took some getting used to because I was used to the other person, the other version of her. But I definitely learned, like, yeah, you cannot trust everything it says, especially when you're talking about analytical stuff. And you gotta be can't take it for granted that it's giving you all the right information. That's what I've learned. Cannot take that for granted at all. Because it may not, maybe not intentionally, but it may not. Let me get something to drink because I'm hot. I'm hot for you. Water. A little tonic water, 30 calories. Oh shit. Forgot I left that down. I mean, shoot. Sorry. Did y'all probably already knew this, but did you know when you use interfacing that you're not supposed to use steam? Y'all probably already knew that. Well, just in case you didn't, we live in a time where that type of behavior and feedback is what people lean on instead of the truth. So ChatGPT probably was like, well, that's how we'll start until we want to change. Right. No, you're right. And that's the problem. I think we was talking about this on our live before, but I was talking about it with somebody. Because the other problem with ChatGPT, which a lot of people don't realize, is it just uses publicly available information to answer your question. It analyzes basically everything that's out there that's publicly available. So it's not like you can't do it on your own. It's just It has all of the publicly available knowledge when it's answering your question. The problem with that is, what people of color know is that a lot of that information is biased. So, like I was just literally reading about the doctor who got the glomerular, I'm not saying it right, glomerular, that's not the right way you say it, but the GFR, the filtration rate on that tells you how well your kidneys work. They used to have two numbers, one for Black people, one for everybody else. And there was an assumption that if you were Black, you were more muscular, and therefore your kidneys were presumed to just work better. Well, that sounds all well and good if it's real, if it's true, but it's not. And so what that meant for Black people is that their kidneys were failing, but it was still looking like their kidneys were doing well. So they weren't qualifying for kidney transplants and all of this. This was like this all the way up to 2021. 2021. So for like ever, my whole life, basically, people that needed kidney transplants. I know lots of people who, not lots, but I know people who have, renal disease. They go to dialysis. They're waiting for kidney transplants. They didn't qualify because their kidneys weren't bad enough. So they weren't getting, and they just changed it. They literally just changed it because there is no evidence to support that Black people who are more muscular, or that one, that they are more muscular, number one, and two, that they're, I can't never say that word, glomerular, that's not how you say it. I'm not saying it right, but that GFR rate, it should be different from everybody else. So anyway, that's the data that's out there, right? So we know that there's a lot of biased data out there about women, about people of color, all kinds of stuff. And that is the public data that is available. So I don't think people think about it, honestly, because I can't say I always thought about it, but I have this underlying kind of awareness now, not because of him, but just in general, because of how much I use ChatGPT just to know that the information that it has is not full in many cases when it comes to certain things, and that it's likely going to have some inherent biases in there that you just got to be aware of. And if your experience or results are different, then it might actually be that your information is more accurate because ChatGPT is going off of publicly available information, which is likely going to have maybe some bias when it comes to, minorities, women. Well, women can be minority too, but you know what I'm saying. Yes, as well, right. Archaic data as well. That's right. You're right. I mean, so we just have to be mindful of that when we are using it for our own kind of what should we do? How should we do it? Is this right? Kind of questions, because or give it that instruction. Like, can you tell me the biases in this information? Is it taken into consideration, African American, or is this result based on, does it take into consideration gender or race or whatever it is? I mean, you can say, when you answer this question, tell me these things, and it'll tell you. Right? That's right. Exactly. That's right. You have to push back, because again, we know time and time again, we just in this century started dealing with a lot of the medical biases that are out there. So I love ChatGPT, but you got to know for what it is and what it ain't. That is the real deal. And as long as you keep that in mind, you should be good to go. All right, we have applied are interfacing, I think. Without steam. Yes, right? Look, but I got my ironing one over here. I end up getting me a thick old mat and a silicone mat because the wood underneath here is not real. This is real wood. That's why I can put heat on it. When I made this table, I made sure I got me a piece of wood and that I sealed it with heat resistant that could tolerate me ironing on it. So, but I couldn't buy it from the store. Every time I tried to buy a piece of wood, I mean, a table that had heat resistant wood, I basically couldn't get it for what I wanted, which was a certain length, a certain width. Because this table, I could take it apart and I can put it back. You can't see it, but it's a little chase back there. And I could fit it inside of it. So I ended up, of course, having to buy this other table, which is also a adjustable table, but it does not have a heat resistant. It's got, I don't know what this is, PVC, plastic, something. So I ended up having to get a silicone. I got this thing right here. It's like a silicone heat resistant layer. And then I got this thick mat because I want the silicone. I was worried that it was going to not work well with the steam. And y'all know the steam wets this whole table up. So that's what I do like about this one. That mat, it's like a wool mat. And it absorbs that steam. My table doesn't get wet. My fabric doesn't get wet. So it's perfect. But yeah, I love the fact that I could iron directly on this table. That was intentional in every way. All right, I think we are good to go. Right, it is. Look, I mean, it's got little markings in here, but I put so many coats of that sealant on here. Eventually, I have to sand it down and, reapply the sealant, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. That is for sure. It is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. I keep saying I'm gonna order, and I'm gonna order another one of Anna's mats to put on top of here, so that next time I sand my table, but I write on here, like I got measurements written on here. I love it. It takes pencil. It writes very clear. I mean, it's everything I want it to be. All right. What are we doing? Okay, we are putting together these front pieces, so it's right sides facing. Right? No. Right. Here we go. Yes. So right sides facing. I'd be lying to you if I told you I don't know why we have to do this piece. If I told you I knew why we had to do this piece, because I don't. Like, I don't even see why we have to do this piece. But they got us doing this piece, so we are doing it. So let me just make sure that it was the seam allowance. Okay, so it says stitch front facing sections and back facing sections together at the shoulders. Turn in 1/4 on the long unnotched edge, press. So these pieces are going like around the neck, like it's going to the back and around the neck. So I guess because maybe this is, not maybe, it appears that this is how the shirt is being finished, because we are this raw edge around the neck and the crossover part. It looks like this is how it's being finished. The edges are being finished. So we are stitching together at 5/8 of an inch Seam allowance. Okay. Now we're going to do the other side. Ooh. All right. And now I'm just going to press this open without steam. So we'll see how pressed open it actually gets. And then we are going to fold under 1/4 of an inch on the outer edge of this. And then we're going to be attaching it to the shirt. That's what we're going to be doing. I hate that I can't use steam on this because it will just lift up this thing. Okay, so here we go. So we're doing the outer edge of this 1/4 of an inch all the way around. This is wrong. Shoot. I put it on backwards. So we're gonna, I'm glad I figured that out before we was trying to attach it. Golly, just when you think you like smooth sailing, one of the paddles falls in the water. All right, here we go. Come on now. All right, here we go. This is going here. Yes. So I'm just reversing this and I'm going to show you what I did. So if you decide to make this, you don't make the same mistake I just made. Yes. That would have made me upset to have a crease all the way on the wrong side. Okay. Yes, okay. on the right side and just press this open. So at the bottom of those two long pieces, there is like a slant and there's like a little bit of a pointed area. It's slight, but it's there. That pointed area is going towards the inside. So if you have it reversed, then it'll be going out this way. And I just looked at the picture as I was folding these outer parts out. I realized that, can you see it a little bit? It's like a slight point going down towards the center. So they were going the other way. So that's how I knew they were not on correctly. And now I'm going to fold the outside down, going all the way on the outside of the of this facing. We are folding it down 1/4 of an inch, and then we're going to basically do a edge stitch all the way around to make sure that it stays. So that just pretty much confirms that this is a finishing, which I guess most facings are. So surprise, surprise, I guess not. I'm just pinning this because it's so thick. And I'm doing the same thing on this side. And then I'll do the middle last. I know, I hate it too, but it's become my thing. Let me tell you, Diane, like, I hate ripping it, but I've gotten a little more comfortable with it. What I will tell you is that I have a new respect for a brand new edge ripper because those suckers can rip. It's time for me to pull out. I got some up there. I need to pull them out because it's nothing like a brand new seam ripper. Nothing, because it just works so well. Especially when you're using it on thicker fabric. Like, even though this denim is actually not really thick. This denim is thick. This denim is thin. This is what I would call summer denim. This is what I would call, you can make a coat out of it, denim. You're now making a coat out of this. At all. Zero. You're just not going to do it. It's not going to happen. But that's keeping you warm. Like, I'm wearing that next week so I can wear it before it gets too hot. I won't be able to wear it in Arizona. That would be like doing myself harm. All right, let's just let this sit on here for a minute since we can't use our beloved steam. Yes, I did another one. This is a denim one. That's my third one. It's my third one. I made some more, made minor tweaks to it. But yes, and it looks so good on me too. So good. I just love it so much. Let me see. While it's sitting on here, maybe I could try it on for you. Hopefully I don't jab myself. I still have to put the edge stitch in this top, and I have to hem. See, I have to put my edge stitch in there so this collar will lay all the way down. So I have pins in the neck, so that's why I gotta be a little careful because I'm not trying to jab myself. But let me see. So let's put that on. Okay. You gotta put the table down so y'all can see. No, please don't let me stick myself. I done already forgot right that quick. Okay. Let me button this. So I'm not finished. Like I said, I still have to hem the still have to hem the sleeves, and I have to put my stitch in around here so that I can lay the collar down. But I think this is my best one so far. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, it's the back. Then I didn't want to put the denim in the pockets because it's so thick, but can y'all see it? Maybe you can. But it's very nice. It's thick. It's heavy though. It's definitely a heavier denim than it was. But I really, when I tell you I love it, I absolutely love it. I didn't put a pin up here because I like to wear this open. So the only thing I wish I would have did different is probably use like a facing over here so that when it's open, you're not seeing the raw denim. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. But yeah, I feel like you also can wear more like a jacket because it is heavy. Okay, it's heavy. And then I'm also going to, I did put an edge stitch in here, but I think I'm going to just close the pocket up just a teeny bit more because even though it's okay that you can see this, I want it to be like that so you can't necessarily see it. So I'm going to just close it a little bit more like that. On it, bring it down a little bit more so you can't see the pockets when it's like closed. But this one I think you can definitely wear because it's super heavy. But I love it. I love it. Like I said, I might make one more. And this is one of the shirts that we're gonna make. I made it in this linen. You can't really see it because I got a skirt on underneath of it, but it's an off the shoulder. One of the no pattern shirts that we're gonna be making. It's super cute on, super, super, super cute. I really like it a lot. But yeah, that's my lovely LaShawn dress, my third one. I'm wearing it next week. Right, I know. I was just in New York on Wednesday, and it was cold as I don't know what in New York. It was so cold. I was like, what in the world is going on? It was cold when I got back here to Baltimore too, but New York was not playing. So cold. It was windy. It was cold. I'm so mad that I was right in the garment district. I was so mad that I did not plan to go and buy anything fabric. I just didn't think about it. So I was leaving and I was like, oh, I should have got some fabric. So Lynette, this took me probably like 2.5 hours. I mean, I could do it now. I do it so quick because I've made it 3 times in a short period of time. It probably took me like 2.5 hours to do everything that you see here, including putting on the snaps. So the only thing I have left to do is I need to put the edge stitch around here so that'll lay this down, hem the arm sleeves, and finish hemming because I actually had hemmed this. Believe it or not, I hemmed it and it was too long. So I had to cut it all. I had to take like 2 inches. I don't know how it ended up because I did the same thing I did on all the other ones, but it was too long, even after I folded it up 1.25 inches. So I ended up taking off like 2 inches off the bottom. So I have to re-hem this. So if I didn't have to do that, then even with that, it probably, I would say it's 2.5 hours is what it took me from start to finish, cutting out everything. Because it's only 1, 2, 3, and the pockets is 4 pattern pieces. So it didn't take me long at all to do that. It was quick. I did it last night. I did all this last night, except for put the snaps on because it was too late. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I wasn't going to be banging no hammer at 10 o'clock at night. So I had to put them on this morning when I got up, and cut off the bottom this morning because that's when I tried it on and realized, oh, it's too long. It's way too long, even being hemmed. I mean, being, folded up 1.25 inches. And I don't know why, because I used the same exact pattern. So I don't know if I was tired too. So maybe that was it. Because I came in from New York yesterday morning. So that's what, maybe I did something. Anyway, it was long. So I had to end up cutting it off. So yeah, if I wouldn't have had to do that, that would have been done. So I just have to do it again, which is easy. It's just press and a stitch. But I am doing you can't really see it, but I have like that brown. I'm doing that brown, not brown, what is it? Mustard, using this mustard color stitching down here. I'm going to use it at the arms, and I'm going to use it at the bottom. It just looks, it's a little accent. I feel like it complements the buttons well. Okay, back to the matter at hand. I love talking about the dress because I really do like it so much. What is the fabric of the, I'm sorry, let me finish answering your questions. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you, Dorothy. Let's see. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you. It was fast. Hey, Chris. It was fast, but this is my 3rd time making it in like 2 weeks. I made it 3 times. Like I made it back to back to back pretty much. So now I kind of know everything. So I can do it super quick. What is the fabric of the second Lovely LaShawn dress made out of? The first was the so I did the second one basically the same as the first. I used this same kind of denim, this stretch denim that's really thin. And then, so that's my first dress. So let me show you the second one. So the first one and the second one look basically the same. It's the second one. The only thing that's different, I mean, I made some adjustments in this one. So I made this one in a whole size smaller. So the first one I made in a 16. No, I made this one in a 12. So this is in a 12. This is in the 12. The first one I made in a 16. So what I did is I made it in a 12. So it does look a little bit different because it's more fitted at the top. But I adjusted the pleats is what I did. So I think I did just 2, you can't tell, but I did 2 pleats in the back instead of the 3. And I did smaller pleats in the front. So it's still 3 in the front. But these are size 12. And I did adjusted the pleats on this one. I did 3 in the back. I did 3 all over. I just made them all a little bit smaller just so that because you need the pleats to give you that kind of, cinched in look right here. And so, but you can see it doesn't have as much hang in the back. Well, partially because I have on the shirt underneath. But this is the other one. So it's literally the same. I just used a different Ankara fabric for the Ankara. And then if you don't remember what the first one looks like, that's a size 12. And this is a size 16. Which the reason why I did size 16 is because of the waist measurements. But I didn't take into account that I could have really just adjusted the pleats to give me more room in the waist, which is what I did on all these other ones. So these ones, it fits me in the waist because I followed the instructions exactly. But the top is much bigger. I don't know if you could tell in the camera, but it is. It's much bigger It's much more bigger. And you might can't tell because I also have on this shirt, the sweater dress, sorry, underneath. But it's much bigger. But yeah, so both of these, the first two I have, both of them have this one panel of denim and then Ankara. Oh, and then the collar is in denim and Ankara mixed so on both of these. And then this one is 100% denim, except for the pockets because the fabric was way too thick. It's very thick. So it's not as thin and not as stretchy as that fabric. But I love them. Every time I wear them, when I tell you men, women, young, old, every culture, I get so many compliments. Yeah, I think the size different. I didn't know if you could see it on camera. It definitely makes a difference when I like look at myself in the mirror. I could tell the difference between that first one, the size 16 and the size 12. So I didn't think about it, but you definitely can play around. You definitely can play around with the pleats, like the size of them. You have room to play around with them so that you can, if the waist area is the area, what I will say is that now what I did with the size 12 is I went with the size that fit my bust area and then just made adjustments to the waist by making the pleats smaller or not doing all the pleats, which is what I did in the second one. I did 2 of the pleats in the back. I did the pleats in the front and then 2 in the back. And then in this one, I did all the pleats, but I just made them half of the size. So instead of, it gives you like the width of where you sew, I went halfway in the middle for all 6. Is it 6, 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 12 pleats. 3 on the front right, 3 on the front left, 3 in the front back right, 3 in the back left. So I just made them all smaller. And I love it. Like, so that is the final adjustment. Oh, and I did make an adjustment up here too. I took a little bit out of the shoulder, just a little bit, because I felt like it was going up a little bit too high on me. I'm short. So I just took a little bit, like an inch or something off of the shoulder part. And that's it. And I didn't even have to adjust the collar or anything. It all still fit. So that's why I said I might make another one in that like fatigue kind of fabric. I have some, but I have something else I want to do with that too. So I got to see how much I have. I'm hoping I got 8 yards of it. So that way I could do my jumpsuit I want to do. And I could do another one of these dresses. So anyway, stay tuned. You might see that. You might see that around. All right. Okay. Back to our top. Okay. What are we doing? So now that we have we basically pressed around 1/4 of an inch all the way around, we are now going to attach it. So we're going to attach it to basically around, let me show you. So basically around this neck and then down these parts. So let me see how am I putting it on. Right sides facing each other is what we are doing. Okay, here we go. I'm like, what? Oh, and I need to take this off. So remember I adjusted this. I'm going to remove this piece, I think. Am I? Yeah. I don't want this piece showing. I was going to deal with it, but I really don't want it on there. Y'all know I'm still singing my Boyz II Men New Edition songs. I'm still like when it gets quiet, that's the first thing that pops in my mind. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I think this is right. Okay. Yeah, so I really like the way it turned out. I'm going to find my fabric and pull out my pattern that I want to do. I said I was going to do it this weekend, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So this should match up. So I may have to adjust this a little bit. So the seams should match up like the same. Should. But we'll see. Yeah, I've decided I'm going to give my Elon coat back there, my red one, to my mother. Well, I'm going to take it down there and see how it fits on her. And if it fits good, then she is going to be the new owner of that coat. And then I'll decide if I want to make another one. I have to decide soon, though, while I still have it all fresh in my brain. So much easier for me to make stuff when I do it back to back to back. Because then I don't have to, like, I can go off of my memory, which is not the best. Yeah, I'm hoping that she's going to really like it. I mean, I'm going to tell her, like, because it's obviously a spring, because she's going to be like, what? Why are you giving me a big old coat and it's heavy in the middle of, the spring, beginning of the spring? And I'm going to be like, well, it's really for next year. My mother's birthday, I think I told you this, my mother's birthday is tomorrow. So I'm hoping the coat really fits her and looks good on her, because she's a little bit bigger than I am. So I'm hoping that it looks more, but she's shorter than I am. That's the only thing I'm worried about. She's shorter. So it just may not be, I don't want it to be oversized, so oversized on her. All right, so we have pinned all the raw edges together. And now we are going to sew this on. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Let me do this real quick. We did not put our edge stitch in. Y'all got me so excited talking about the lovely Sean dress. I forgot to put the edge stitch in. So let me just stick that in real quick so that that folded part stays down, because that's the last thing I need because I'm wearing this next week. I can't wait to see how the sleeve. I told you I'm doing one sleeve. Oh man, you know what I just realized? Okay, that's fine. I just realized I'm using a contrasting thread. But this is going to be on the inside, number one. And number two, the color it's like a brown, so it looks good with denim, so it's not terrible. There we go. Sometimes the thing that I do dislike the most is going around these circles on the sewing machine. I'm much better than I was. But it's not my favorite thing to do. By any means. Oh, I'm like, why was I getting that? All right, we are almost around the circle part. All right, down to the last little part. There we go. All right, so we have done that edge stitch all the way in. And as I mentioned, see, I have a color. It's got color, as opposed to being navy blue. It's got color on it. Okay, so now we are going to sew this edge all the way on here. And here we go, here we go, here we go. 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. It's so crazy because I really have to put my imagination on when I pick these patterns. I'm telling you, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't. Because when I be looking at the pattern covers, well, I'm talking about when the big 5 or whatever they are now, big 4, big 5, big 1, I don't know what they're going by, but it leaves a lot to be desired sometimes. Or I guess I'm not the main audience. That's what I will say. Going around the circle again. All right. All right, we are down to the other side, just one straight stitch. Back stitch, and there we go. All right, so we have attached the facing to the front, around the neckline, across the front. And now we are going to turn the facing to the inside, which, so this side lined up perfectly, as you can see. This side, let me try to fix that. This side left a little bit to be desired. I think I could fix it though, because this fabric is a little stretchy, so I think I can pull it down maybe. Yep, there we go, boom. Oh, look at that. See, don't tell me nothing. All right, let me fix that. Watch this. Watch this magic. Watch this magic. Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah, there we go. Just make sure. Fingers crossed. It's better. It ain't perfect, but it's better. It's better. It'll do. It will do. All right. So now we are going to press the facing to the inside. Actually, you know what? Let me open this up first. I feel like it'll be a little bit easier. Opening it and then turning it. Yep, there we go. That was perfect. And because this denim is very thin, it just presses so fast and so flat so quickly. The key word is "so" here. Okay, let's turn that in. Look at that. All right, so now I got to do this. This part is going to be a little tricky because it's around this curve, but I think I can. Once I get this down, I'll press the outside. All right, now that I press that, yeah, it definitely folds so much better when after you press it, after you press the seam allowance open. And I noticed that when I was making that coat, because the fabric was very thick, I realized like, oh, if you lay, it's counterintuitive. You think, oh, if I open up the seam allowance and lay it flat and then I got to go the other way, it's not going to work. No, it actually works better. At least that was my experience with that. And that is the same experience I'm having with pressing this facing under. Thank you, Lynette. I appreciate you so much every time. Yes, thank y'all. Please give this video a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. If you really like it, that is. Okay, and now we're just pressing over this last part of the facing. It's laying super flat. Okay, look at that. So now, I'll just show you this. Just holding it up so you can see it. So it is, oh, gotta turn this. So you can see it. It is finished. So the front is finished. This is how it's gonna cross over. And the back neck is finished. I have to press this out since it got wrinkled, but you get the point. Okay, so we have pretty much finished the bodice. Well, we got to put the sleeves on. So the two things we have left to do is to put the sleeves on and to put, there is like a bottom piece that goes on, which if you're wondering why it looks so short, it's not a tank top. It's not a midriff. It is because it has a piece that goes around the bottom. I'm just going to press this. Get some of these wrinkles out that we just put in. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's still raining out there too. All right, there we go. So it's a little wet, but you get the point. There we go. And you can see the little gatherers at the top. It's very subtle, but you kind of see them. It's very subtle, but it's there. There you go. Okay, now that we've done that, we are going to do the kind of what they are calling is a midriff, but it is a band that is going around the midriff area. So we are taking our piece number 6 and our piece number 5. Here we go, 5 and 6, which is the piece that literally goes around. So you have, let me make sure I read this right. Yes, okay, good. So you have 4 piece number 5s and 2 on the fold piece number 6s. And then we had to cut 2 inner pieces of interfacing. So 2 of these will have interfacing on them. Now what it says is that we're going to stitch the midriff front, which is the piece number 5's sections, and the midriff back piece number 6 sections together. Oh, I get it. Okay. So it is one of these 2 of these. The front pieces go up. The 6 is the back and the 5 pieces are the front. So all of this is going to get interfaced. One of these is going to get interfaced. These 3 pieces. And then these other pieces are not going to be interfaced. Yes, I'm doing version A. I did. So Lynette, you can't really see it, and I don't want to lift it up, but right here I have another adjustable table, and it's a little bit smaller than this one, but it's what I'm using to iron on for the most part, like when I have to do a lot of ironing. I'm just doing this here because these are smaller pieces, but this is, so what I did was, because the table is not heat proof, I had to get this wool cover. You can see this one. And then I got a silicone cover. At first I got the silicone cover, and then I realized that the silicone, it's heat resistant enough. I mean, it doesn't go up as high as the wool, but it also does not do well with the moisture part of it. And so I was like, well, let me get this wool, because I have a small wool one like that, and I know it does well with absorbing the moisture. Wrong way. With absorbing the moisture. So I ordered this wool piece that fits over the entire table, and it has been doing great. Like, I was able to press that whole coat out, press this very easily, no problems at all, 0. So yes. And it has made a difference. I feel like it makes it a little bit easier. I have more space to put things on. Oh my goodness gracious. What am I doing? Okay. It's like, why is this not sticking? Well, you got to turn it on the right side. Thank God it didn't stick to the table. So yeah, I got it. I've had it now for 2 weeks now, I think. And I don't regret it one single bit. I love that it's adjustable, that I can lower it up and down. The only thing I also don't like about it is that, and I'm thinking about changing this, but it's not made to be, it's not made to be taken apart. And I like to, when I'm not sewing, I like to take all this stuff down so that this room is completely empty except for the chair. Because sometimes it's a sunroom, so I like to lay in here or whatever and relax, read, whatever. So I take all this stuff down. It all goes in these cabinets and in the chair and all of that. But this table right now, I don't have all the screws in it because I'm trying to debate whether I'm going to swap out the hardware to hardware that allows me to take the screws in and out, like little knob screws. Like this one is, once you in, it's like meant to stay in, and I don't like that, because again, that means it's got to stay put together, which means that it's got to stay up, and I don't want that. So I haven't taken it down since I've had it up, but it's also made me sew more since I've had it up. And I'm like, that's why my room, you can't see it, but it's not as clean as it normally is, because normally I clean everything after I finish and put everything away. But because I'm like working on the coat, sewing on Monday, sewing on Tuesday, got stuff over there, my room is a little bit mess. Yeah, so anyway, that's a long answer to, I got the table. I'm very happy with it. I highly recommend the wool cover if you like to iron on your table. So even if you don't have a heat resistant table like this one, you can put this wool cover on it and it will make it, nothing is getting through. It's probably like 3/4 of an inch. It's more than a 1/2 inch, I would say. Between a half and a little bit more. Maybe that's a half. Maybe that is a half. Ooh, hot. So again, this top is classified as easy, and I would agree. I think it is easy so far. Everything that we have done has been pretty simplistic, and I would say most of these steps are pretty quick too. Had I didn't have to interface, we would have, moved even a little bit faster than we're moving now. So definitely would say this is quick. If you like it, then I would recommend it. Would definitely recommend it. Well, let's try it on first. Let me not get ahead of myself. Let's try it on. Let's see if we like it. I mean, because if we don't like it, then we don't wear it. But hopefully we do, because I'm looking forward to wearing this. I have counted this in next week's wardrobe already. So hopefully I like it, because I want to wear it. So, Lynette, that's a great question. You don't know this about me, but you'll learn today. I actually don't have a sense of smell, so I really don't know if it has an odor or not. This place could stink to high heaven. I don't know because I don't have a sense of smell. But I will find out. I'll ask somebody next time. I'll find out. But I don't know. It's a great question. I don't even be thinking about stuff like that because I haven't been able to smell for like 10 years now. So I don't even think about stuff smelling. It's crazy how you just don't even think about that. That's so funny to me. But I'll find out. I'll ask someone to find out because right now my place could be completely stinky and no one, well, I would never know. Somebody will know. I wouldn't know. All right, so we have interfaced these pieces. Gonna give them another little press on the denim side, a no steam press, and then we are going to do, what is this? We're going to connect these pieces as instructed. Okay, here's our 2-piece number 5s. And here's our piece on the fold number 6. We're just going to give it one more final press. And then we're going to sew it together. Okay, so what it is telling us is we are going to that's interesting. So this is the piece with the 2 on it. But guess, oh, okay, they both have 2. All right, well, there's that. Okay, they both have 2. So there is 2 notches, so that tells you where to connect it. Okay, so that goes right there. All right, we'll do this piece first. And 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Yep. So we are doing 5/8. So there is, just FYI, there is 2 notches on one side of piece number 5. So this is a smaller piece. So you know which one. Now I got it mixed up again. Yeah, you know which one goes on which end. FYI. Yeah, no, so I had a brain tumor like in 2016, so 10 years ago. So I'm like, oh my goodness, it's been 10 years. And when they removed it, initially I lost my taste and my smell, but my taste came back. It's still not 100% the same, but I can taste stuff. I enjoy food, put it like that. But my smell never came back. So I cannot smell anything. I have no sense of smell. And basically, it had like 6 months to come back, is what I was told. And if it didn't come back within the 6 months, it probably wasn't going to come back. And now it's been 10 years. So it's definitely not coming back. I'm sure, there's probably some technology out there if I really wanted to smell, but I can't really say I miss it. Every now and then, like I just started wearing perfume again. Like last year. I mean, I wore it for a while and then I stopped because I'm like, well, I don't smell it. But now I've kind of gotten back into it. So it's not really for me. It's just for my boyfriend or for, other people or whatever. So, because I can't smell it. Okay, so here is our, what they call the midriff, probably because it covers the midriff. And I'm just pressing open the seams. And this is fitting at the bottom of the shirt. So now we've put those pieces together. And the next thing that we're going to do is, let's see, stitch the interface midriff sections and the midriff back together. Okay, and then the other sections, the other pieces actually are going to make up the facing of this. So we're going to be stitching these together too. But what it's telling us to do right now is to pin the midriff to the lower edge of the bodice, matching the symbols and the seams, adjust the gathers and base. So we got our bottom part again. So let me move the facing pieces out the way for now. And I'm going to open this up. And again, because we're pinning this right sides together. We do need to adjust the gathers. To make sure it can fit. Denim is probably the perfect fabric to use your gathering foot, if I had to say so myself. All right, so I've got pretty much put this gathering in. And now what I need to do is I need to pin. Now that I've gotten it gathered, let me see if you can see that. Now I'm going to pin this. Yes, I'm going to pin this piece, but I'm going to match up the seams. I'll pin the seams first. So you do want your seams to match because they are going to show. So I'm pinning my seams first, matching that midriff band piece to the seam on each side, and then I'm going to either gather more or less based on it fitting this part. And again, I'm also making sure that the seams are lined up because they will show. You don't want it to be messed up. Okay, so it's looking like it's going to be perfect with that little bit I gathered. So I'm just going to pin the rest of this down. Oh, thank you, Lynette. Thank you, thank you. This will actually be, I usually get it to monitor it. I get a MRI every year, and this will be my first year that I'm now going to every other year. So this is my first year that I have not had an MRI. And I don't know whether to be nervous or not, because normally I'm nervous when I have to get the MRI, because obviously you don't know what the results are going to show. You feel fine, and then, ta-da, you got something on the MRI. But I've been blessed that I haven't had anything, so I don't have to get one this year. So we'll be next year. Okay. So we've gotten this part pinned down pretty good. So see, we got it all pinned down. Ow. So those seams are matched up pretty good. And actually this one I feel like I need to pull it a little bit more. I feel like it was a little bit relaxed. Okay, so now we've done the back, and then we just got to do the same thing for the two front pieces. So I'm just going to pull this thread. So I'm pulling this thread. One thread at a time, apparently, because my thread doesn't like me pulling both at the same time. So I'm just pulling it just to adjust it. And there we go. Okay, that looks good enough. And then I'm going to do the same thing, which is pin. I guess it's gotta, do I have to leave a, yes. Like, I think I need to be leaving a little bit. Yes, like a half an inch out. So that you can sew. So it's a dot there actually. I just didn't transfer it, but I knew it was like, let me. Okay, so I need to pull this just a little bit more because it's still too big. Come on now. All right, I think I've gotten it down. So this edge needs a little bit more gathering than. Yeah, okay, there we go. I think we got it. So for the record, I did cut a size 14 in this. So it has, and this is also a stretch fabric too. So, excuse me. So I feel like I have a little bit of, a little bit of give. There we go. All right, so finish this side. We got a little bit of extra overhang right there. This is where you're going to connect the two band pieces at the end. That's what it looks like. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This is the other reason why, I think I said this already, but I'm saying it again. We're using the gather and flip from now on. We got to all commit to it. All right, I think we got it. So let me make sure I leave that half, 3/4 inch out the bottom, at the edge. All right, and then we'll pin the rest. I think this top is really the design, you know, again with the ruching or the gathering at the shoulders, at the bottom. And I think doing this in denim is really gonna set it off. Now I do have one sleeve that's gonna be Ankara because I ran out of denim, but that's neither here nor there. I think it's gonna still look good. I think it's gonna still look good. So I have one sleeve. One sleeve that's denim and one sleeve that is Ankara. If I ever find this fabric again, then I will. No, I'm lying. I'm not taking it out unless it doesn't look good. But if it looks good, I will not be taking it out. Worst case, I'll make another one. All right, I think, make sure, okay. Yep, I think we are good. So we have, oh, let me put a pin right here. We have everything pinned. So let me see. Okay, so now we're gonna just stitch all the way around. We are on our way. Let me just say that. 5/8 of an inch seam allowance is what we're going to be working with here. Again, just making sure my raw edges are lined up. And we're going all the way around. And I'm going to try it on after this just because I'm anxious to see if the fit is going to be what I want. All right. This is coming along really, really well. I'm very happy with it. Can't wait to try it on and see exactly how it's going to look. Because the other thing that I'm putting sleeves on it, but you could, not do a sleeve. You could do like a bias tape around the armholes if you wanted. As a way to make this even more summery. this gathered part in the middle of the back. And so for those that are just joining, thank you all. We are doing McCalls 70, let me see, 7892. It is a wrap top. We are doing it in a stretch denim with one sleeve in Ankara. I think people who sew with stick pins, I think they just get used to getting stuck. The stick pin sewist on the line, is that true? Do you just like it doesn't not hurt? It doesn't hurt you anymore because you're just used to a level of pain with using, pins. I've been using them a lot more, and I cannot get used to getting stuck. It hurts so much every time. All right, so we have sewn it all on. Okay, my seams are off just a tad. It's not huge. I'm not going to fix it because it's not too bad. Look. Can you see that? It's not too bad. I can see it, but it probably doesn't look, it's not too bad. It's not bad enough for me to fix it. Okay, so what we're doing now is let's see. Okay, so we're going to press this down and then we're going to sew the mid-drift sections, the facing pieces together. And then we're going to attach them. I'm going to press this down, then I'm going to try it on. Because I just feel like, why? We deserve a little peek at what it's going to look like. Ooh, don't hurt me. We deserve a little peek, right? So we're going to try it on just to see. But I'm pressing this down to make it easier when we put the other facing piece on. So that should be a quick, because we don't have to interface it. So should just be a quick sew together and then put the facing on. Last little bit to press. Like I said, I love the way this denim just presses so easily. Just lays so flat with very minimal effort. Okay. It still feels a little on the small side. Okay. I hope it crosses like that so I don't have too much cleavage showing. This is how, well, I guess it is, because look at that. This is going to fit right. It's going to fit together. So that means it's going to be open. So I might have to wear a shirt underneath this if I'm going to wear it, because it's not crossing over the way that I thought it would cross over. Let me see the picture. Where is, yes, it crosses over. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I don't know. That's interesting. It appears, oh, that's for piece B. Okay, yeah, so it looks like it's supposed to be like this, according to the picture. But if these two pieces are supposed to be sewed together to make a complete band, then it's not going to cross over all the way, which there is room to do it. That would be perfect to me. All right, well, let's see. So you know what? I have never done it, but when I first started sewing, I mean, there were people within Black Sewing Network that were doing like using muslin. I don't know if it was the tissue paper, but I feel like it was. I'm trying to just dig deep into my memory. But I do feel like there were people that did it. I never did it. I would make like what I would call wearable muslins, which is I would do it like I always feel like the first time I make anything, it's a muslin, but I do it in fabric that I like and would wear, because if it looks good, I'm wearing it. And I was taking a sewing class at one point, and that was something that they were doing, but then I just didn't stick with it and was just I didn't stick with it. And yeah, so I never did it again, but it is, I would say that what I know about it is it's definitely a great way to kind of work out all of the fitting kinks that you might get before you take all these other steps. Because like I said, I mean, think about it like this, or let me think about it like this and share it with you. I made this 3 times, and I feel like this is the best fit. So it took me 3 times of actually. Now, do I like my other 2? Absolutely. Am I going to wear them? 100%. Have I worn them? All the time? Probably too much. People probably think I'm wearing the same clothes all the time. I'm switching back and forth between my, well, this one I haven't worn yet, but my point is that it's taken a little bit of time, right? To work out all those fitting kinks. And as much as I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do it because I don't want to waste any time, you know, making it something that I can't actually wear outside in public, I'm doing it, just not with tissue. I'm doing it with real fabric. It's one of the reasons why. So I bought some fabric back from Singapore. I think I told y'all that, and I decided to not make it because I was like, I paid a lot of money for that fabric and I wanted to. Now I would feel so much more comfortable making the dress in that fabric. I don't know how it would look. So that's why I haven't done it yet, because I fell in love with this. You said Carol does tissue fitting. I do a wardrobe muslin. Is that what a wearable muslin? Yeah, that's what I'm. Hey girl, happy Friday. Yeah, that's what I do, a wearable muslin, because I just feel like if I'm gonna spend all this time sewing, somebody gonna see this outfit. I'm wearing this thing, and I wear, like, when I find something that I like, I wear it a lot, which is why I'm like, I got to make sure I can wash it, because I'm wearing it and it's going in the wash machine. It's fair share until I get tired of wearing it. And it's got to be able to, so I got to make sure I'm either doing, like when I make some of these I make on live, I either after the fact have to serge them, or I sit down on the couch while I'm watching TV and I will have my pinking shears, which are down here somewhere right now. And I will be sitting there doing my pinking shears, cutting it up just to make sure. But yeah, I'm wearing my stuff. But I would consider doing it. I think the other reason why I don't do it is because I don't have time. I mean, my schedule over the last 4, almost 5 years has gotten, I would say, at a minimum twice as busy as I've ever been. I travel quite a bit for work. And when I'm home, I have other obligations. So I can't just, as much as I would want to be just at the sewing machine, I can't do it. So I had much more time, a couple years ago, but I do not have that level of time in these days. So unfortunately, I think that's really the reason why I don't do it. But I do think if you want to use some expensive fabric, you definitely should. You definitely should do it. Because once you put all that effort into it and you cut it, the end. Forget about it. If you can't fit it, you better have somebody that you love that you're giving it to, and you won't feel no way about it. Okay, so here is our facing. And ooh, can I pick this up? And I don't know why my necklace keeps twisting around. Now we are going to okay, we got to turn under the seam of the upper edge. So let me try to figure out which one is the upper edge. Where are my notches? Can I see them? Okay, here's one. Okay, here's one, but there's one at the bottom too. So how do I know which one? Okay, so this one has. Did I not put any in there? There are no notches right there. Why is it showing me notches when there are none? Well, that's weird. Oh, that's showing me piece number 5. Okay, that has a notch at the top and the bottom. But then how do I know which one? I guess it's kind of going like this. So we are doing it. I'm trying to make sure I fold under the right part. So I need to see when I put this on, it's going to be, it's going to be like this. Okay, so that's going to attach, so it's this part. All right, I had to figure out which part. Which part is, all right. Now we're going to press under. I know, right? Hi, Yvette. Welcome. Yes, it is. I love it. Okay. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you. I'm so well, first of all, are you talking about this one or this, the one that I made this, I don't know if you can tell the difference, but the one that I'm making this top out of, which is the one that I used for my first lovely LaShawn dress and so many other things that I made, denim jeans, whatever. I love that denim. It's this denim that I'm using right now. It's thin, it's stretchy, it's forgivable, it's all the things. I love it so much. And I'm so sad to be out of it. I reached out to Auntie Carol. I'm in the process of trying to see if they may not even have it because obviously I got this frog tails. But Auntie Carol's trying to help me. I hate, not that I would hate to have to go to Chicago, but I would hate to have to go all the way over there just to get some fabric. But I'm saving a piece of it. That's how much I want to make sure I can get the same fabric. Like I put a little piece in my purse. So that's why I'm a little mad. I was just in New York and I was in the garment district. Did not go get any fabric. Not that they would have had, I don't even know if they had fabric store right where I was, but they had other. But I didn't need anything else. All I needed was this denim. Okay, here we go. So we have folded under a piece. It's supposed to be 3/8 of an inch. It's close. All right, and now we are going to pin this all the way together. Right sides facing. You do have notches. Do have notches, which I'm going to line up in. So this is going to be the challenge with this. As you know, we've interfaced the other piece and it doesn't stretch anymore. So, but we still need this all to stretch. And I should have been probably a little bit more careful when I was ironing this to make sure it didn't stretch out too much. I wasn't. So hopefully we won't have any issues. So far it seems okay. So I'll probably use a little bit more pins than usual just to make sure nothing gets out of order as I'm pinning, as I'm sewing it. So I don't end up with any kind of gap anywhere. All right, we're down to the last little bit. All right, so I'm lining up these seams so they can kind of be matching. All right. Pin this last part, and then we'll be able to sew it on. And then the only thing I'll have to do, which I'll do offline, is once you sew this on, you're going to flip it, which I will press it just to make it easier for me to try it on. But then you have to kind of do a stitch in a ditch once you fold this under, and you'll encapsulate this raw edge. So I probably need to push that down, back down in there, which will be good. So the one thing that I do like about this is that literally almost most of the raw edges are enclosed. There's a little bit that is not, but most of the raw edge is enclosed. So I also have this little fray glue. I forgot that I had bought it, and I probably will end up using that on this because there's so few exposed edges that I need to do. That way I won't have any problems when I go wash this. After I wear it 50 million times, because I will, if I like it, I'll be wearing it. So I gotta be able to throw it in the washing machine without it being damaged, you know, falling apart. All right, okay, so we got it all pinned. It's pinned really well. And all right, so now we are gonna stitch this all. Okay. So you're basically going, I'll show you when I finish, but going down the side, down, basically like a half of a rectangle, I guess is the way you could describe it. I recently changed my needle, so when I stop sewing, it stays down in the fabric. I wish I would have been did that years ago. I used to have it set so the needle comes up every time I stop sewing. Now I have it set where the needle stays down in the fabric, and it makes a huge difference to not have to, you know, take, because 99% of the time you want the needle down, you don't. And so I used to have to like manually put it back down. I love that. Those little tweaks. All right, we're now just getting to the middle. I'm also trying to be really careful not to stretch this fabric so that the other seam allowance will line up. the other seam will line up, not seam allowance. And so far, feeling good about it. All right, wait to the last section for this midriff, sewing on this midriff. Just making sure my raw edges are lined up. Right, and now I'm going to just turn this around. Make sure those raw edges are lined up. And last little piece. Is this supposed to have a band? I don't think so. This is weird. Nope, that's not it. That's not that. I'm so confused by this part. Okay, anyway, let's do this and then we're gonna talk about it. Okay. So I have basically followed the instructions and stitched this whole waistband piece. And so one of the things it tells you to do is basically stitch all the way around. So you're going down this side, all the way around, down the other side, so that you can turn this basically right side out. The problem is that obviously, how is it closing? How is it connecting? How is it, because it's a top, it's closed. Am I supposed to put a button on here or something? Doesn't have that. So I'm not cutting these. Normally I would just cut these, like if I was doing this under a normal circumstance, I would cut this. But I need to make sure before I cut it that it is the right thing. And that, I'm not sure. I mean, I followed the instructions, so. All right, let me press this. And then I'm gonna fold this up. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna put some buttons, some snaps on, but it's not supposed to have a tie. It doesn't have a tie. So I thought it would all connect together, and it's not. this, I'm going to press down at the same time. Look at that. I mean, it's just responding so well to this steam. Ooh, Jesus. I gotta be careful when I press that steam button. I gotta make sure my fingers is out the way. Okay. So I pressed that. Now I'm gonna press this closed. Just makes it lay so much flatter. So you can already see how it's covering that whole part. I'm gonna have to do a slip stitch or a okay, there you go. That's laying down so flat. So I gotta do the same thing with this part. I press the seam open and then I press it back closed. It makes a difference. Just don't burn yourself in the process. Y'all know I burned myself a couple weeks ago. All right, there we go. And then let me press this down. All right, now let me press this. And that is just closing that all in so perfectly. Ooh, Jesus. All right. So I think y'all can kind of see how it is all just, when I press this down, I mean, when I stitch this down, it's going to cover all of that raw gathered part. It's going to be all. So now I'm just going to do the same thing here. And I will do that stitch in a ditch later, but I'm doing this so that when I try it on, it will all be looking as good as it can possibly look. There we go. I know, right? This is the Oliso iron. The first one I have, it didn't have steam, but this thing right here, I'm telling you, if you can get one, it is worth it. It's just as powerful as a big one. So that's going to be inside of there, all of that. So I might end up having to put snaps on here to get it to cross over to do what I want to do, because I don't see how it's supposed to connect. Yeah, it doesn't say, and it doesn't. Oh, it does. So we are supposed to use hook and bars. I won't be using hook and bars, so I'm going to use snaps. So it the closing is hook and bars. So you're supposed to put them on so you get this cross. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to put a couple of snaps in, maybe one right here, so I can get coverage. And then, because I want to wear this to work, I think, like a dress down Friday. Once I see what it looks like with the sleeves on. Okay, so now we figured it out. So I was wondering, I probably should have did a size. Well, actually, I got to think about that. I have this shirt underneath of it. All right, we're going to the sleeves, and then we'll be done. Sleeves are it. So we have one denim sleeve, one regular sleeve. And we are going to, let me just move this over to the side. So it is looking really good so far. Don't look at that fall down part. I'm gonna stitch in the ditch that. But it has a very clean, because of the facings, it's a very clean finish inside and a very clean finish outside. So here's our one denim sleeve. I'm gonna sew this. Yep, sew it up on the edge. 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. This sleeve is meant to be a loose fitting sleeve. You can also make it short. So this one I did, A, doesn't have ties. I mean, it comes with ties. So you could totally have done a tie and just leave it as a tie, because there's it's either 4 or 5 different, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 different. So you have, really it's 5. You have the shirt that I'm making, which is just that crossover with nothing extra. Then you have a crossover shirt that has like a little peplum bottom, and that has a tie across it. But you can use the tie wrap instead of what I'm doing. So if you want to do that. So to your point, Dorothy, you could totally have done it. But I was confused because I knew that with this particular version that I was doing, I didn't cut the ties because I didn't plan to have ties. But you could totally have had ties. And this top is gonna sit right at the top of your waist. So like I'm gonna wear it with some jeans that match the jeans that I made I think I made them in January. And I think those jeans are high-waisted jeans. So it might look okay with it. It might look okay with it. But I would have, if I made it again, I would probably bring it down. Like bring the top down maybe like an inch or 2, just so that the shirt can sit a little bit lower, unless I did the wrap. Just my own personal preference. It does give you the measurements, by the way, so I could have done that ahead of time if I would have paid attention. It gives you the measurements for like the neck to the bottom, so you would know like exactly where it's going to fall on you so that you don't have to do what I did, which is decide, oh, if I make it again, I'm gonna do this. I could have literally done it this time around if I would have paid more attention. So the other thing is that the sleeves do have yeah, they have elastic or gathering around the wrist part if you choose. Could do they have a couple of different sleeve options. So you can always do a different sleeve. And you could do a different length. The pattern comes with different lengths of the sleeves. So it could totally be a short sleeve. All right, so we have our sleeves. One hand card, one regular. I'm just going to press the seam open because it'll make it easier. Okay, do this one. Just going to press it. So when I go into, and they do have where you gather around the top of the sleeve so that you can fit it in, but I'm going to do it all manually. I find this easier just to do it that way. All right, so here's our main piece, and here's our sleeve number one. We're going to turn it on the right side. Turn this on the wrong side. There are notches. Did I not put them in here? There are. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. I just need to know which one is the back and what is the front. Okay. So this one's actually going to go on this side. Oh no, this is the right one. Yeah, this one is the right one. So I'm just matching up the bottom seam because again, this fabric is stretchy, so that's the other thing that makes it easier for me to get it all in. Just making a little snap so I can know where the top is. And I'm going to put this in a seam, and then everything else is going to get eased in. And I'm doing both of the bottoms at the same time. That way, if I need to do some gathering, it's going to be at the top. And it looks like I am going to have to do some gathering. So I'm just going to do that manually. But it is going in pretty well so far. So now I'm just creating these little teeny gathers in the top manually. I have like 4. There we go. So it'll be a little bit of ruching at the top. Now let's see. Do the same thing on this side. I'm going to do the same thing. Line up those seams. Let me do this first. Let's actually do this. All right. And do the little split at the top seam. And now everything else gets fit in. Oops. So what are we? Oh, we're at 3 hours. Lee. Okay, well, we're pretty much done. So let me tell you what I'm going to do, so I am going to do all the finishing off, which means like the blind stitch here. I'm going to put the finishing on the bottom of the sleeves. Offline. So what you see, I think I'm going to just take like a rubber band and kind of put it at the bottom so you can get a feel for what it would look like if it was totally, like if I put the elastic in. And I'm going to do the snaps offline. So that way you will get to see the top in the next probably 10 minutes. We'll be wrapping up because that's probably what it's going to take me to sew these sleeves in. And this one will have some ruching too, or some gathering as well. Okay, so I need to make it on the same side. Even though I don't think you're going to be able to see it on this side because this fabric is so busy. I don't think you're going to see it, honestly. All right, put this one more pin in here. And I think we're done. All right, so I'm going to sew these sleeves on and then I'm going to try it on. Oh, you won't believe this. I didn't turn the sleeve out right side out. Well, at least I picked it up before we sewed it on. Thank goodness for that. All right, let's get this sewed in real quick. Pinned in real quick. What time is it? So by 3:30, we will be trying 3:30, 3 hours, 30 minutes, not 3:30 A, 3 hours, 30 minutes. We will be trying this on. All right. See, I'm definitely going to have to use the pinking shears on this sleeve, I think, or we'll see. We'll see. I'm either going to do that or use that fray stuff I have. All right. All right, here we go. Let's get to sewing it down. And we are almost to the finish line, people. I did not think the shirt was going to take 3 hours. I really didn't. I'm glad I didn't say that in the beginning. But I definitely thought, I was like, oh, we're gonna be done and chilling. But no, it's okay. I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's too bad at all. All right, we are 3/4 of the way from sewing in sleeve number 1. I'm also trying to make sure I don't get stuck. All right. Also making sure that these raw edges stay aligned. And the seams stay open. I think this is it. All right, one sleeve down. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, one sleeve down. Now we're going to do the other one. I think this one will be a little bit easier. Not that the other one was hard, but I think because this fabric is stretchy, it will, I think, just go faster. We'll see. Here we go. Nope, it's taking about the same time. I gotta move the fabric to make sure everything is laying flat as it's going around. All right, I think we are to the last little bit. A little back stitch. And there we go. All right, other sleeve is in. And it's looking pretty good. All right, so like I said, the part that I have to do is put my buttons on. It calls for a hook and eye. I'm not doing hook and eye. So I'm going to do a snap, probably like right here, and I'm going to do another one like right here so that it's closed up, because I want it to be closed like that, which is how it is on the pattern. And because if I wasn't wearing this to work and I wanted to show a little cleavage, I probably would make it sit open a little bit more. But because I want to be able to wear it to work, I want it to be fully closed. So I am going to put my snaps pretty far over so that I can get, and I'm actually probably going to make this one a hidden snap because I got the facing, so I can do that. So you're not even going to see the snap because I'm going to do it on the inside so that it doesn't even show on the outside. So, and then the sleeves, I'm going to put the elastic on the sleeves, so they're going to be like that for the sleeves. So just imagine like, a little baggy sleeve. This is what the back looks like. I don't have any rubber bands down here. I was going to go get one, but just imagine that the sleeves are going to be like that. So I think it's going to look really good once the sleeves are like, oh, you know what? Let me see. I think I can use my bracelet. It's a little stretchy, but I don't want to break it. Yeah, I'm not going to break my bracelet, but you get the idea. That's going to be like, a little baggy, but not too much. It's not too oversized. So it'll be a little baggy clothes like that. And this will be a little baggy clothes like that. I feel like it's work appropriate as long as I can get this right. And like I said, I'm going to do a hidden button snap on the inside because the facing, I can do that. And it's already got the interfacing on there. So it's going to have enough and it'll be closed just like that. And it looks really good. You can see the back where it has a little gathering at the bottom. And a little bit of you can see the little gathering right here. A little gathering right there. Like I said, if I was to do it over again, I would probably take this down just a little bit because it does sit like right at your waist. Like my belly button is right here. So it's right at your waist. And even crossed over, it's like right at your waist. So yeah, I really like it a lot. It turned out really good. Definitely, they should have put me on the cover. They should have put my version on the cover. So you could have really be like, yes, I'm making that. I'm making that. Right? So yeah, so stay tuned because I'm going to wear this next week. I'm confident that I will be able to get the coverage that I want. And I got the snaps right there. I can't bang at night. That's the only reason I'm not putting the snaps on because I don't want to be, I have a neighbor right there. So I don't want to be banging at 10:30 at night. I do think I know I was a little worried about the one sleeve being different, but I think it just adds something to it a little bit, by making it a little different. And like I said, I really do like the inside. The inside is nice and clean because of the facings. So it's literally hiding all of the, or not all, but 99% of the unfinished. So you got that and then around the sleeves. That's it. So I'm going to either use that fray away stuff that I have, or I'm going to, use my pinking shears to finish it. Because guess what? I'm going to be wearing this. And I have the jeans that I made in January, which are this denim. So I'm going to wear them with those jeans. So yeah, this is really nice. So I really like it. Stay tuned for the finish after I finish everything. So I got 2 outfits for next week. I'm wearing this and I'm going to wear this. We're doing a retreat next week, so I can dress business casual for the beginning of the week anyway. And then I'm going to be in Arizona, so I got to figure out what do you wear when it's 105 degrees outside? Business. I don't know. No stockings. I don't wear stockings anyway, but definitely no stockings. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. This looks so good. So good. Very, very happy with it. I was like 5% nervous because again, I've learned you can't even trust the patterns. Like if you got a vision, 99% of the time it's gonna look better than the big five pattern, what they put on there. So I'm just telling you that when you look at these patterns, don't be fooled when you see like this. Like, oh, that's so homely. I mean, I shouldn't say that because somebody might like it, be like, oh, I love it. But I try to be like, oh, if I just change the fabric, then it's going to be right. And that's exactly what I saw when I looked at this. So, yes, we changed the fabric and we came up with something right. I would definitely think this would also look good in all Ankara if you get the right fabric, all denim if you get the right fabric. And then, of course, I think it would look good in a chiffon. Not a chiffon, a crepe. And I have a good crepe fabric, but I want to use it for a dress. So I didn't, but it would have looked good. If I have enough fabric left over, I might do this top again in that crepe. I have this beautiful crepe, but I got to make a dress out of it because I got like 6 yards of it. So I'm like, so I probably won't have enough left to do this top. But I did this top with scraps. So how much fabric does it take? It says anywhere between 1 3/8 inch to 2 yards, depending on if you have 45 or 60 with fabric. So it doesn't take that much for A. So it's not that much at all. I know, look, I'm trying to be nice, Aisha. Yes, they are not the most fun and exciting, covers. But I also am hesitant because, again, somebody likes it. Somebody likes it. And so I don't want to be, saying something negative about something that somebody likes. So that's why I'm like, what I am saying is if you look at it and it's not something you like, just imagine it in a fabric that you do like and then decide, would I still not like it? Or do I think it will turn out 10 times better? And that's what I always say to myself. Like, oh yeah, this is just missing the right fabric and then it'll be fine. Anyway. Oh, you said just kidding, sort of. You weren't kidding, girl. You ain't kidding. Thank you. This is my lovely LaShawn dress. This is the third one I've made. I made this one fully in denim. A different denim than the one we did today. This is a much heavier, thicker denim, but I'm wearing it one time next week because I probably am not going to be able to wear it after that because it's so heavy. But I love it. It looks so good. I just have to do the finishing touches on that too. That one's 99%. I just got to hem the sleeves. I got to re-hem the bottom because I cut off like 1 inch, 2 inches. And then I got to just do my stitch in the ditch around this so that will lay all the way down. And I'm done. Yes, Dorothy, right. You got to think outside the box. Yes, you got to think outside the box. Thank you, Yvette. So we are done. Next week we are doing, I don't know what we're doing next week, but I can tell you it's something spring or summer because I picked all spring and summer stuff, starting with this top, all the way through April. So whatever we're doing next week, I have it posted. Y'all be so proud of me. I posted everything through the end of April. So definitely look on my YouTube page. You will see it. Everything is that we're doing. I do have a couple of weeks, so you'll notice that I'm sewing next week. I'm sewing April 3rd, April 10th, and then I think I'm off 1 week in April because I'm out of town on that Friday. So there's like 4 to 5 weeks up right now, basically all the way through the end of April. Is already up, so you can see what we're going to be sewing. And all I'm saying is, I tried to make the cover look beautiful, but when you look at or interesting or fun and exciting, but if you look at the actual pattern, don't be intimidated. Just trust the process that we are going to use good fabrics and it's going to look good. So anyway, happy Friday. I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend. Happy spring, as someone reminded us earlier that it is the first day of spring. So yeah, let's have a great weekend. Hey, Monica. Yeah, have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you all next Friday. Be there or be square. and square is okay if that's what you want to be. So anyway, bye everybody. See y'all. Good night. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Monica, Dorothy, Vet, Aisha, Gaynell. Thank you, Nina. Hey, thank you, Diane. Let me see, who else am I missing? All right, I think I got everybody. Lynette, thank you. All right, bye everyone. Good night.
Let's get social. Come and sew with me. Let's get social. You know it ain't that hard to do.